Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome to my channel. My name's Michaela, and today's video is going to be explaining, what's been going on with my baby boy. Now this is going to come to a surprise to everyone except for my family and Caelan's family, because we did not want to tell anybody and get everybody worried and then it turn out to be nothing. So right now I'm just explaining to you what happened so it can maybe help somebody else who's in the same situation that I was in 2 weeks ago. So I'm just going to go ahead and start from the morning of the day I was supposed to have my appointment. So I went and I picked up Caelan and we were going to my appointment, and we always get good reports. Like, they've always said, well, your baby looks perfect. Nothing's wrong with him. Nothing ever is wrong with him. So, of course, we never worry about our appointments. So, I'm on my way to my appointment, excited to see the ultrasound and see my baby again. And then we get there and we go upstairs to where my doctor is, and we're sitting in the waiting room. They call us back and they do the ultrasound first. So as they're doing the ultrasound, they're checking everything because this is my 20-week appointment. So they're checking the brain, the heart, the bones, just everything to make sure that he is growing properly. So they're checking everything, and she's spending an extra long time on the heart. I didn't think anything of this because, the heart is a vital part of a baby's life, or of anybody's life. It's just what pumps the blood through your body. So I just wasn't concerned with her doing it. And then after, I go back into the waiting room and they call me back to see my doctor. So I'm going back to see my doctor, and once we get back there, he sits me down and he's like talking to me and Caelan, saying everything's good, it's a boy, talking to us. And then out of nowhere, he's like, there's a spot on the baby's heart. And I was like, okay, like, what does that mean? So he explained that the spot could mean autism. Now, I wasn't really worried because I have no other pointers towards autism. Like, my baby, there's no other, things pointing towards autism or any genetics pointing towards autism. So we were just kind of like, oh, well, this took us by surprise. And then as soon as we got out of the office, I started to cry because I was worried. Not because my baby could have autism. Like, either way, me and Caelan would still love baby Carter the same. Like, it's not, our child having autism is not going to change the way that we look at him, but it's going to change the way other people look at him as he grows up. So that's why I started crying, because I was like, I don't want him getting bullied, I don't want people telling him he's different, treating him different, treating him like a child for his whole life, I was just emotional. So I go over to Caelan's house because I'm just crying, and I keep thinking about it. And his mom and Caelan and I all started doing research of other people who's had this, and what it could mean. Did it mean autism for the other people it's happened to? Just researching a lot and seeing what could be the possibilities here. So then I called my grandma. I called my grandma right out of the office, but she was still at work, so she couldn't really do anything to calm me down. So then I called my mom after we were at Caelan's house, and I explained to her about what was going on, and she did the research, and she said she found the same results that me, Caelan's mom, and Caelan did. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to worry about it. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen, and if God wants him to have autism, he's going to have autism. If God says, no, you're not going to have autism, he's not going to have autism. So I was like, okay, I'm just not going to worry about it. So we get an appointment to go see a specialist in this area. So we go, and this appointment was today. So we go to the appointment this morning. We left my house at 6:30 in the morning, and our appointment was at 8. So we got there at about 7:50, I think. And we go into the waiting room, and we're sitting there, and she calls me back immediately. So I was like, okay, let's go do this. And I get back there, and the lady is super nice. She's one of the nicest technicians I've had, actually. So I was really pleased with her being my tech person. So first they did a vaginal ultrasound to check how long my cervix was. Is my cervix closed? You know, does anything look strange? So she did a vaginal to check that, and then she did a ultrasound on my stomach, like not vaginal. I don't know what it's called. I think it's just called a ultrasound. I don't know. But anyways, so she started the ultrasound, and Carter started waving at us. He was being a little show off to the technician and everybody in the room. He started waving, and then he was kicking around, and then he started doing like a sucking motion with his lips. Like it looked like he was like sucking or like kissing something. So he started making like, he started opening and closing his mouth and like doing that sucking thing. And at one point, the actual doctor who looks at the heart came in, and he just kept opening and closing his mouth, and it was so cute. He was being such a show off, but it was one of the best ultrasounds I've had, you know. And so after the ultrasound was all done, she came in and she was like, well, the white spot's gone, so we don't have to look at any genetic testing. You don't have to see the genetic counselor. Like, you're good. So she sent me home, and I have the ultrasounds. They're all right there. And I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the ultrasounds and everything. But what the white spot turned out to be was like calcium, like a little calcium ball or something in the heart, and it just went away. So turns out that me and everybody worried for nothing, and that's why we didn't want to make it public or tell anyone, because we didn't want it to go public and then everybody be worrying and, you know, everything be fine. So anyways, I forget where I'm at because my papa just came in. So but nothing's wrong with Carter. He is perfect. He weighs a pound, and he, you know, he has good bones. His brain's good, his heart's good. So the technician and the doctor both said that Carter looks perfect and he's growing the way he should be. So I'm happy, and I'm glad everything turned out okay, and thank you to my family and Caelan's family for praying for Carter, you know, who did know about what was going on. So thank you for praying for him, and I'll go ahead and show you guys his ultrasound pictures now. So this one is in a little, like, what's it called, frame. So I'm gonna go ahead and show this one first, but this is just his face. You can't really see it very well, but that's his face, and then that's his like chest and stuff. And all of these we got today as well. This is like a side profile of his face, and then this is another side profile. See, that's here, and then his nose, and then his mouth, and then chest, and then this is another side profile. And then down here, the technician got a picture of his hand. He was like, that's whenever he started waving to us, like as soon as she put the little like ultrasound stick on. And then here's his feet. His feet were crossed, so that's why it looks so weird. But then he like uncrossed it, and then there's one foot. And then this is his face. This one looks weird because it's like all skeleton-y, but you know, he doesn't have much fat on him right now, so, but there's his face. And then down here is his boy parts. So there's that one, and then there's that one. So those were all of the ultrasound pictures we got today, and it's just, I'm glad everything's okay. And I want to answer a lot of your guys' questions. If you're new to my channel, you don't know this probably, but I will be filming my birth. I will be vlogging it. So yes, I will be doing that. Thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you next video.